Hey guys, this is going to be my first houseplant tour. I know I've mentioned since I started doing videos about a month ago that I do have a little houseplant collection. It's not much yet, but it will be someday. But here is just an example of a bouquet that I did. For irises, they do make good cut flowers. You have to cut them and put them in lukewarm water. And then while in water, you have to trim the bottom inch off at an angle. I'm sure you can see all these are cut at angles in here. It's kind of hard to see because it is a rippled glass, but an important thing when you're doing an arrangement, you want to make sure your vase is weighted, not only so your stuff doesn't fall over, but I'm talking like aesthetically weighted. You want something that's gonna hold the flowers upright and not necessarily be outdone by the flowers. So that's why most of mine aren't just plain. I mean, I do have some that aren't nothing special, but that's okay. You can see here we have a rose, white and yellow Dutch iris, a purple and yellow Dutch iris, a bearded iris that's gold, I don't know, I don't know how you'd explain that color, but it's pretty. And then we have some smoke bush thrown in. You can see I did include a couple little orbs of honeysuckle. Sorry, I almost forgot what it was for a second. And then of course just a bunch of these purple bearded iris. I think they're really pretty, kind of underrated as a flower, especially here in the desert. I see these in houses that are abandoned all the time, and they're still doing their thing without water, without rain, no one taking care of them, no one pulling weeds. So they are a very, very hardy flower. They do have newer varieties that bloom twice, which is kind of nice, but even just for once, everything, like I say, has its own beauty behind it and its own purpose. But now to the houseplants. You can see, we'll start here because I did make a list, so I kind of know the names of most things. This is a pearls and jade pothos. It's just in a cover pot. I like to use cover pots so I don't have those ugly drip pans everywhere, and it gives it a little different look. You can see this one I did a rainbow, just a simple macrame. I think it's like 6 knots hanger, and it only has 2 strings because it is meant for against the wall. You can see the coloration on this is pretty, it's nice. It was just a little tiny propagation when I bought it, just like 10 leaves in a pot, but it is pretty. I think it does have a lot going on with the pot and the colors and stuff on it, but I think together it makes a nice combination. Here we have some spider plant propagations. Now on this, it is a nice big pretty vase, and I didn't want to ruin it or have that much water. So if you see closely, I put a plastic cup in there because it was easy to bend, it didn't break. And I used that. It's another way to hide your propagations, make them a little prettier. I just have a couple little knickknacks under there. Here I have, let's see, Imperial red Philodendron. I have a couple of these. I bought this one. It was a decent price for what they go for. And I decided I wanted another. Well, I ordered another, and it wasn't nearly as impressive. You can see they do suffer a bit of damage from shipping. A couple tattered leaves and broken. It was leaning, so I did purchase this little plant holder. It's just a wooden dowel with a little gem on the end, and it's got a metal arm sticking off of it, which you can hug the plant and help support it a bit. I do have a couple candle holders that I use for my little closed cell greenhouses. So I got some tetraspermas growing around that. On the other side there you can see a tetrasperma, but the leaf is a little crispy. I have checked on it. The node is still growing, so don't give up on it just yet. Here you see we have red emerald philodendron. This was grown from cutting, as most of my plants are. They're either cuttings or very small because it's not worth buying a big pretty full plant and shipping it across the desert. It will not make it, never does. Here we have, you can see where the birds are always making noise. We have a few of them. It all started because of this one, Tweety. I found him flying in the yard one day and I went out there and caught him. Funny thing is, when I was a teenager, same thing happened. There was a yellow parakeet flying in the yard, my first pet. And I went and caught him, and I had him for years. And this one I felt bad keeping him alone, so I had to get him a few friends. You can see we have, it was a plate or antique display, but I got rid of the shelves. Figured it'd be easier to keep my birds and not have a mess. We have a regular spider plant here. Now I know these are pretty basic and kind of old and not very glamorous, but for me, I use it mainly as an indicator as to when I need to water, because once that starts showing a little bit of paleness, it turns kind of, let's see, I have one here that's broken. You can see the difference. Looks kind of blue, silver. That will need to be taken off because it probably broke at some point. The stem coming from the mother plant. But that's okay. I have gotten tons of babies off of that and share that plant with a lot of people. And you can see I have a Sansevieria cylindrica here. This is a small one. It only grows to about 7-8 inches. Really cute. My two faces here. Now, I am a Gemini and my partner's always telling me that I got two personalities, so I figured there's the distraught, stressed out one and the Zen one. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. This is a tropical Philodendron Birkin. Tropical because the leaf comes out white, then variegates green. There's different varieties. You can get a red variety. There's a split variety. I guess they're having fun crossbreeding them now. Over here we have a snow dieffenbachia. That one, me and that plant haven't been really getting along. I was keeping it kind of wet, I guess, and started to drop leaves. Back there, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it hanging out in some spots here. We have a golden pothos. Nothing special. Well, I guess it's kind of special. My mom gave me that cutting and it was sentimental to her, so it does have some meaning behind it. Here you can see, and this was actually a Halloween candy dish. I drilled holes in the bottom of the chin there for drainage. If you convert something to a planter, you always want to make sure you choose the lowest spot for drainage. And I have a Purple Queen Wandering Dude or Tradescantia in there. These ones are awesome. The more sun you give them, the darker purple they get. If they don't get much sun, they will be green. But here in the desert, I got plenty of sun, so. Next to it, you can see I have a pineapple. I started that off the top of a pineapple. I've tried this plenty of times. I've probably done, I'd say, about 30. I have one pineapple. That's a plant. This has actually grown for about 2 years. It said that it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 years in a pot to produce, and then it'll throw out baby pineapple plants you can take off of, and it'll throw out a pineapple through this top, which is the flower. Once the flowers are spent, you can take the fruit. Next to it, we have a variegated spider plant. Now this one's just as old as the other one, over a year, but it hasn't thrown out any flowers or babies yet. That is a fake flower in the center. My mom likes buying me fake flowers and I have to keep them. I mean, at least for a while I feel obligated. I don't like throwing things out, and if I could make it work, why not? Behind it I have a Prince of Orange Philodendron. You can see that beautiful orange leaf. Almost looks fake. And on that one, I bought it when there wasn't very many pots in the stores for sale and I wasn't going to spend 30 bucks for a pot. So I got a wine ice bucket and I drilled holes in the bottom of that. It works. It's kind of flashy, that's why I throw it behind something. A little bit of chrome isn't bad, but I don't want it to be too in your face. Here we have my night blooming ceres. You can see there's a little bit of a bald patch there. That's where I dug out a piece to send out to Carmen Whitehead. You can see how big mine gets and the room you should allow, something like that. If we go further down, we have a Never Never Calathea. I've never had a Calathea. I went to a plant swap and no one wanted this, and at the end of it, some really friendly lady was like, "Are you interested in this? I can't seem to keep it from crisping up." And I think I may have gotten it a bit. I mean, you can see there's one little tiny crispy part there at the bottom, but it was half leaves crispy. There's a coleus. That one was sold to me as an outdoor plant. I had it outdoor last year and it grew maybe an inch. Because it's so highly variegated, it doesn't do good outside. I have another Prince of Orange. When I find something I like, I do tend to get a couple just to make sure that if something happens, I don't end up without it. You can see this beautiful zebra plant. I can't keep it alive. I'm showing the top, it's nice and pretty, but if you go down, it looks like a tree. It's not supposed to. I've asked a couple people what I'm doing wrong. Apparently you gotta keep it moist and not wet, and stuff like that's hard for me. That might be something I either repot in a bigger pot to keep it a little more moist, or even, I don't know, get rid of it, because I kind of feel like I'm torturing it. We have a lucky bamboo. I've had bamboo, or this plant, or a piece of this plant for about 15 years. It's grown about 4 feet a couple times, and I hack it off and save part of it and give some away. Dwarf variegated Schefflera, or umbrella plant. I like it because, I mean, I like Schefflera, but I do live in a roughly 600 square foot house, or casita. It's not very big at all. So I can't get massive, huge, beautiful plants like everyone else. Right in front of it, you can see my little silver sword. Very beautiful color, especially against this, let's see here, what is it called? Croton Nami is what it's called. All the colors on that you can see against the silver, really beautiful. And then we have a Philodendron pedatum, P-E-D-A-T-U-M. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it was a few more cuttings. They didn't make it. That's why the pot looks really empty, but they should put out newer, bigger leaves like that. I have a star begonia. It is a rhizomous begonia. That means it spreads through a thick, fibrous root. When I got it, it was about 3 feet around. I divided it and it put out tons of bloom stalks. You can see there's still a couple going, but they're not huge or beautiful or fragrant. I mean, they're beautiful. They start in the center kind of with yellow stamens and have a pink blushing out to a white center, so it's pretty. I have another begonia here. This is a Rex Red Kiss begonia. Next to it, a very small Monstera dubia that I got here on top. I completely missed over this one. Again, like I said, when I order things, sometimes they don't get here in the best of shape. This did have another leaf, but it broke off. It's a Philodendron mayoi. Here next to the dubia on the floor, we have a Philodendron Xanadu. It is a juvenile, like I said. For me, big plants are pretty, but they're hard to get them to my house without much damage. Next to it, I have a orange blooming calancho. You can see it has little rosette flowers. This is like what I sent Carmen as well. It does bloom throughout the year for me, depending on what window I have. You can see, if we zoom in here, it does have some beautiful red margins. The more sun you give it, the darker those get. Behind it, I have a Sansevieria. I've had this one for a while. I keep dividing it. I don't like, I mean, I wish it would grow taller, but for me it doesn't. It throws out a bunch more pups, which is nice. I mean, I think everyone I know who wants one has one. Again, another fake orchid flower my mom gave me. She's all about the fakes because they're easy to keep alive. But I can't do that. Here I have another Imperial red Philodendron. I put it in a hanging pot in front of the window, and I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I think it kind of looks like a flying bird, almost like a pterodactyl or something. Sorry about the mess behind it. I am staging some plants and hardening them off and working on myself. That's why you see the exercise bike. A little bit of string art that I made. I don't know if it shows up. It's kind of dark. And then I have a Hope Philodendron. Now this thing was about a quarter the size when I bought it. Do your research onto how big these things will get. I thought I was buying me a smaller version of something that I wanted. I wanted a split leaf philodendron, which this is. You can see beautiful leaves, huge, and deep lobing on them. But I thought I was getting a little hope. I didn't know there was a regular hope, so you might want to keep an eye out, do some research, because they will get big. There's a propagation there. Get a better picture. A trailing begonia. It's begonia with lepucci. I'm not kidding, that's its name. Got it at a plant swap. A lot of these things I'm going to show you here that are propagations and in these little tiny cups I got at a plant swap. These cute little cups my partner wanted, so we got them. There's a very small lifesaver plant in there. That's a type of Hoya I'm trying to start. And then these other two succulents, I don't know what they are. I'm not very good with succulents. You'd think I would be living in the desert, but I love too much and water too much, so it doesn't work out all the time. There's my gnome. I do like gnomes. This one was making an inappropriate gesture, so for the video, I did cover it up and I put a flower. So he's giving us a flower. You can see it says go away. My brother bought me that one here for Christmas. So I really, really do like plants and flowers and gnomes. Like, I'm not kidding. That was my job for a while. Here we have another Sansevieria. Again, something I got from the plant swap. Does have roots. I just seen it yesterday, so I will have to pot that up. And then I do have a Monstera albo variegata, or variegated Monstera. It does have some fenestrations, but it is not the best looking plant or start of a plant. This is my second attempt at it. I bought a node. Might do a video on that. It's not a very pleasant one, but I've had it for the node for about 6 months. This I'd say I've had for about 2. Not really doing much. It does have the rest of the leaf just curled back. That happened in transport, and it hasn't unfurled again. It's just stood like that. So we'll see. I mean, so far I'm not very impressed with the plant. Beautiful plant if you can get it to live and you can have one in your collection, I guess. But so far I've spent way more than I should have for way less plants than I got. So I'm not really feeling too good about it. Here we have a Dracaena. Like I said, if we do have things here in the desert that turn darker colors or blush with sun, they will do their thing. You can see the little one that's coming out there. I had these outside as a display last year, and I thought I'd bring them in early enough before the cold damage got to them. I guess they didn't. You can see that one died down to the ground, setting up some shoots. But it's okay, it's alive. Next to it, we have some amaryllis that were started from seed. Now, again, do your research. Amaryllis from seed take about 4 to 5 years to bloom, so these are, I'd say, about 3.5, 3 years, I don't know. So the mother was red, as most amaryllis are, either a white or red or a mixture, but I will be doing a video with these hopefully soon. Here in the cups and the propagations, we have another one of those Hoyas. The person who I got that from said they bought it from the clearance rack at Lowe's because it was all sorry looking and they felt bad for it, so then they bought it and posted it for free, and I was like, yes, I would take some, and we did a little trade. Here we have another lifesaver plant. I do have a few of these. I got them, like I say, I had a plant swap, and it was something I never had, and I had heard of, but never, came across. So I figured, why not? There's a cup of a couple different kinds of tetrasperma, Tahitian bridal. There's a variegated version. There's a furry leaf version. There's one that looks like a tetrasperma but is a succulent. I don't know what half of these are, so if you do, leave them in the comments. This one is a Hoya. I know that much. The one in front, I don't know. Couple of copies in here. And then another lifesaver plant and some more spider plants I knocked off. Here I have a orange bird of paradise. I did buy both the orange and the white. The white crisped up on me. The orange so far seems to be doing alright. Now again, I did buy some small starts, so that's why it's nothing impressive. Next to it is a Monstera addisoni. Now this one I started from a cutting and it's not doing very well. I can't bring myself to throw it out. I am going to try and do a couple things to save it. We'll see if it works. Probably won't, but oh well. If you haven't noticed, I do have a couple elephants in my house. I do like animals as well as plants, and any kind of animal really I like. They all have their purpose, like all of us, but just we gravitate towards more. And for some reason, people started buying me elephants, which I appreciate, but I started a random collection. Here I have a dragon fruit. I don't know the variety. I've only had it for, say, 8 months. I bought it last summer, and towards the end of the summer. It was on a mother plant that was all scarred up and messed up, and I figured I was rescuing it, and I couldn't throw the mother away, so I do have it, and that's what I propagate from, because like I say, it's ugly. But it has given me quite a few pups. This one will probably need to be trellised here soon because it is starting to lean. But relatively fast grower, and you can see the aerial roots. That means I do have quite a bit of humidity in here for these plants. That's one way I keep them happy. It's not that I have a humidifier or nothing going, it's just with doing laundry, cooking, showering, it builds up in the house sometimes. Here we have my TV. Nothing impressive there. Right on top of that, we have a hanging plant, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Remember, we've seen this in a video. I think it was Off With Their Heads, where I showed the mother plant that I purchased and why I chopped its head off. You can see it is sending out some growth. It's almost double what it was then. And the fenestrations are coming in, so yay for that. Here underneath the TV we have a moonlight philodendron in the back there. I like the very lime greenish color on the new leaves there. It does turn a little darker as they age, but that's okay. And this one here, I hadn't seen anything like it before. When I seen it, I immediately had to buy it. It is a juvenile version. It is a sawtooth philodendron jungle boogie. So I thought, hey, the name sounds fun, why not? And then here we have a Hoya carnosa. That was my first Hoya. Kind of new to them. I've taken care of some for some clients before, and they were easy. I just, I don't really... I like plants and I like the rare ones. I don't want to spend a whole paycheck on a plant. I mean, if I am, it better be something that is impressive. Here again, we have another Imperial red. Like I said, I was impressed with the first one, so I ordered a pack of 2 after that, and they sent me, like the first one was chopped in half, which, I mean, it's okay. It will grow. You can see big, beautiful leaves on this one too. There was a bit of damage and bruising on the end of the leaf here. Sometimes I'll trim them. I try and get a similar shape to what they had, but I'm not too finicky. Plants aren't perfect and we aren't either, and to expect perfection out of anybody isn't fair. Underneath here, again, another Prince of Orange. Well, I don't know. This one doesn't look so orange to me. I think this is something else. I emailed the people at Urban Jungle who supplied the store with this, and they never got back to me, so I don't know what it is. It could be something else in the Philodendron family, because like I said, I put that next to my Prince of Orange and it doesn't look the same. A ZZ plant, or Zenzi. This one I got, you can see it was propagated from a single leaf way back there. Again, at the plant swap, they had a door prize and they were selling tickets and I didn't know, no one else bought tickets, and I bought 5 of them and I won like half the prizes. So needless to say, it was kind of embarrassing. They did take a break and people bought more tickets and someone else won the rest. I wasn't going to take them all anyway. Here's a fiddle leaf fig. This one is a new addition. I think it might be the more compact variety because the leaves aren't very big, but it's still cute. You can see it's got a little cover pot. Like I said, I like cover pots because you can keep the water off your floor and you don't have to wait till they all drain. Here's a peperomia red ripple. Again, still blooming. This thing is really happy here. I think it's the humidity. There's another one that we cut its head off. There's a peperomia pilea or UFO plant. Here I have a aglaonema. This one is pink stalks, you can see, very pretty pink, almost a hot pink, sending up tons of shoots. I like how full it is. I've had this one for a while too. You can see it's got some pink variegation or on the stalk there, the main vein, and the margins are pink too, which is very pretty. It's actually starting to set some buds and should be flowering soon, I think. Or those could be new leaves. I don't know. Like I said. Oh wait, they are new leaves, I think. Anyway, still pretty. Confuses me. I'm kind of new to these two. This is my first one. I seen it and tried walking by it. I had to circle back and get it, so you know, they put them there for a reason. Here I have a dieffenbachia. This was a cutting from someone. They didn't tell me the type, so that's okay. I don't know. I really don't care. It's pretty. And it has grown quite a bit. It was like 2 leaves out the ground when I got it. My sister bought me that because, you know, rainbows, yay. And roses. I am into flowers. Here we have a Tradescantia zebrina, Tahitian bridal veil next to it, little small one. A lipstick plant. Let me see. I had a name for that. Black pagoda lipstick plant. On the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but it has like a purple leopard print. You can see it through the top, but on the bottom it's purple. Really nice. Got that at the plant swap too. Here's a green version of the zebrina. They do have really nice silver color on them. You can see I burned a couple leaves because I didn't realize the sun was hitting it. So they're not as sun hardy as or sun loving as the purple queen, which none of them are. A pot with a couple different dracaenas. There's a grass-like one and another variegated one like the other. Should be red. You can just see the red margins. It's not getting as much sun. There are a couple little gnomes in there that are knocked over from watering. Excuse me. Here we have a Nanook Tradescantia. It's a pink variegated. This, again, a little more expensive plant, so I bought a smaller one. It's the easiest way for me. Here is a golden goddess philodendron. Again, I've had this one for a couple months. Very pretty. You can see the older leaves have a bit of variegation on them. The newer ones come out very yellow-green, chartreuse, whatever you want to call it. Underneath this, we have a crassula. That was given to my partner for his birthday, just passed. And then this one here is a, let me see, gotta refer to the notes. Royal Queen Philodendron. It's in the Escubans family, so it is related to Pink Princess. Some people sell reverted pink princess or sell it as reverted pink princess so they can get a little more money. That's not what it is. It's still worth a decent amount too. You can see it eventually does turn green. Keeps a maroon stalk, and the petiole that connects the leaf to the stalk is also maroon, as well as the main vein going down the center. Let's see here. Dog food, water. We'll meet her someday. She's just out of control lately. I mean, you know puppies. My Monstera doing a little bit better since we did repot it. You can see retaining some moisture in the soil there, so that's good. We have a Sansevieria. This one's called Hyacinth. I don't know, I can't even say it. But it grows wild in Florida. It was a houseplant, someone put it out. And I actually ordered these from Florida. So, you know, like I said, order from people. You might make some new relationships that way. This is an elephant planter my sister made me. So cute. I have to use it. Well, I have to fix it, then use it. I kind of broke it. But here is my white butterfly that we made from propagations. Nice full plant. You can see I made my own macrame hanger. Like I said, my house is under construction, so sorry if it is a little banged up. Just a cute little plastic barrel pot underneath. Nothing expensive. And then here we come around to a Philodendron burrow marks. Now again, this was just a cutting, a single cutting, maybe 3 or 4 nodes. This one I did take down to each individual leaf node cutting, and I propagated it. It is filling out. There is a yellow leaf. I like to leave them until they're almost crispy and pull them off. That way it doesn't spread to another leaf if it is an issue or something, you know. Nothing crazy. It is just a couple months old, so we'll grow bigger. And then here we have a variegated kangaroo fern from one of the videos. You can see it's wicking water. It's not crispy enough. Got some nice new leaves coming out, so it's working. Then we have a little propagation vessel I made, thinking about doing it in a video. I did buy extra so I can explain and show and all that goodness. You can see I have string of pearls, string of turtles, Brazil philodendron, a regular golden pothos, and I think the one on the right is a scindapsus, not too sure, and a blue star fern. Now, I do have a few more plants in another room in my kitchen. I try and keep them to 2 rooms. This is only 4 rooms of a house. It's got a bathroom, a very tiny laundry room that's not really a room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and the living room. So I'd say it's broken up into 3 main areas. The bedroom and bathroom are a third of the house, the living room's a third of the house, and the kitchen and washroom, again, another third of the house. So I have been moving things around and trying to get it where I want it. When I first moved in here, you can see the scars on the roof still. For some reason the bedroom was a couple feet bigger and came out into the living room. I didn't like it. I didn't like painting around this beam that was randomly 2 feet in the middle of the room. And I think it looks a little better now in here. You can see I do have columns that I plan on putting. They're just leaning there for now. But big plans, not so much time. I have changed out doors. Now they match. Now their handles match. Before there was 3 doors on this wall, 3 different sizes, widths, and heights. It was a mess. Nothing too extravagant, just my little houseplant collection. I hope you liked it, and if you didn't, let me know what you didn't like. Criticism is good as long as it's constructive. But thank you for watching, and hopefully there will be more to come. Like I said, I do have another room, but it's mainly copies of plants that I have in here, so nothing to gotta see. But thank you for watching.